Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. We are rounding off this topic today of how to develop people and how to build people in your church. We need to build people in our churches, and therefore, as a pastor, there are some requirements for you to build people in your church. And today I want to start with providing resources and materials in order to develop or to build people in your church. Because there are times when we are dreaming about developing people, yet we cannot provide resources, yet we cannot provide materials for them to develop. Just imagine if you want to develop musicians in your church, yet you don't have music instruments. You want to develop people in your church and you want to develop them into counselors, yet you don't have Bible studies and teachings and into counseling classes and so on. You don't develop them. You don't actually have them to get to where you want them to be because there are no resources for them to be part of what you want to develop them into. And that's very, very important that we take cognizance of resources, provision of resources and provision of materials for people if we want to develop them or to build them into what we want to see them being. There's a scripture in the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 13 that speaks about, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation and to doctrine as well. And there's another scripture in the book of 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 13 speaks about the cloak that I left at Troas with Carpus. When you come, bring with you and the books, but especially the parchments. And that's what we're talking about when we talk about the resources. That's what we're talking about when we talk about materials. So have materials like of books available for the people, and therefore in the church, have a library in the church if possible, whereby you have books of leadership where your people could come and sit and read, and also have classes where you teach these people. Platforms where they can practice as well, where they can actually articulate their skills and their talent, and we can be sure that they are growing because they are given opportunities, resources and materials that are making a difference in their lives. This is very, very important. You can't build people without quality resources. You can't. And that is why when there's no space to develop the people, there's no resources to develop the people. So it is dismal for you to even dream of developing the people. Now, when we speak about resources, sometimes we speak about space as well. There are times when you just don't have enough space where you can train the people, where you can run workshops, where you can run seminars as well. There's no space, there's no place. And as I said, you don't have materials like books, for instance, that you can teach the people, that you can actually let the people learn from and become matured and grow, to become matured. The quality resources are very, very important for them. So handouts and seminar outlines must be provided at minimal cost for the people. And remember that every time when you are running seminars, workshops, there must be some materials that people can go home and read and continue reading until they develop. And that is why the reason we say when you are running those things in the church, make sure that you encourage notes taking. You encourage also them having the books or buying the books or the materials that we're teaching out of, and encourage them as well to have all tapes, maybe recordings as well, that they can take and go and learn out of. But please provide them at a minimal cost because there might be some people that may not be able to afford those. Very, very important. Now, people that are resourced are the ones that will ultimately grow up in the Lord. And that is why we've seen that people have grown in the Lord based on the resources that they have, based on the resources that they're able to purchase. People have grown generally. They will tell you, I've bought books and I've learned and read books. Some of the people have developed into good leaders now is because they've bought leadership books and read them. They've actually had practical mentors that mentored them into leadership as well. Those are type of resources that we're speaking about. And it's very important then that we become conscious in bringing out resources and making sure that there are materials that we provide in the people for the people to mature and become actually well-resourced as well. Very, very important that we do so. The other thing that I want you to use or have as a pastor and as a leader, in order to build your people, is you must give room for performance and evaluate them. You must give room for performance and evaluate the people as well. Because when you teach people and you are not able to evaluate, you may not know whether they are growing or not. You may not know whether they are maturing, even whether they are grasping the topic or not. Let's have a way of evaluating them. Let's have a way of performance management as well, so that we can know if we're making a progress from where we are and developing from one point to another. Very, very important. Allow the people to perform and function. Watch them while they're performing and functioning, and evaluate them and give feedback as well. Feedback is a gift, and therefore when you give somebody feedback, they're able to work on that which they need to improve on, and they become better. So that's very important, therefore, that you develop them at a point where you give them frequent feedback, and they are actually able to introspect and know where they can improve, and therefore put some improvement plans as well that you will assist them to improve and become better from where they are, and grow and mature from where they are and get better every day. We emphasize this because it's very, very important and very key. And we cannot avoid this, encouraging people that please make sure that you develop your people, and by developing them, make a room for performance, make a room for evaluation as well, that you evaluate them. But also make sure that you give them opportunity to function, give them opportunity to perform as well while you're watching them, and give them feedback. On the job, training is crucial and very, very crucial for development. That people are training while you give them platform to do. If they are preachers, give them opportunity to preach in smaller groups, of course. Maybe on taking an offering. Maybe in home cell meetings where you allow them platform to preach. Maybe in small gatherings where you can allow them opportunity to preach. That's the only way that they're going to practice and know how to preach. While you're watching them, as I said, and evaluating in order to give them feedback. Because it's very important to give feedback. As I said, feedback is a gift. And when you give people feedback, they're able to go back and improve and start practicing that which you've coached them about, and they become better every day. But they must have a platform to become participating, and because on-the-job training becomes very important. However, you must realize that people don't do what you expect, but what you inspect as well. So therefore, when you inspect the people, you are actually advising them and coaching them. That's when you're developing them. Because you don't just expect people to be doing things, but you must inspect them so that you can be able to coach them, be able to give them advices, be able to tell them how to improve as well. And they are going to work on the improvement plan and get better every day. Very, very important. So I have time to evaluate them and discover where they need some further training. Because when you've evaluated people and you have seen how they're performing, as I said, you coach them, or you see where they need further training, and you yourself bring them back and train them in a certain area that you think still needs some shaping up or some improvement, and work on that as you teach them and make sure that they learn and become better in that regard. So it is very important that we build our people. And as we build our people, we build them with intention, we build them with focus, and make sure that we put more effort in getting them to a certain level that we want them to be. They don't just arrive there, but we must work hard to make sure that they learn, and we coach them, inspect them, and evaluate in order to know where they need to improve. And as they do improve, we are able to support them in their improvement plan, and they become better as well. So I want to end up here as we close right now. But before we close, I want you to understand that it is very necessary that you get your people progress in your church. And you expect some outcomes, but without evaluation, you're not going to see the outcomes happening. So please, if you see the outcomes are not good enough, retrain your people, so properly build them and make them to become better. Many hands that make large work, and multiplication will be the end result of discipling. And building people up in the church will help you to have more hands that will carry the job, and they will relieve you as a leader, and you'll find yourself being relieved and doing well. I want to close up right here, but before we check out right now, I want you to remember to visit our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane, and Church Governance Solutions. So please, of course, like those pages. Make sure that you click notification buttons on them so that you are notified when we have posted teachings of this kind. Remember our YouTube channel, which of course is rich in information. Our YouTube channel has got a lot of information there, a lot of posts that we've put in there. It will help you as you go and choose those type of videos that are appropriate for your churches, and be learned out of those and use them in your church. But of course, you are able also to contact us. Please make sure if you want to contact us directly, inbox us in our social media platforms. We'll get back to you, and we are able to get to your church in person as well and help you to put up structures, train your people, develop them as well in any topic that is regarding church governance, and we'll be able to assist you in that as well. May the good Lord bless you. Your host, Micornus Phokane. Thank you very much for being with us. This was part 5, of course, and we hope that you'll join us as we deal with other topics going forward. God bless you, and allow me to check out here and say cheers for now.